So, in today's video, I want to bring you up to speed with some of the things I've been working on behind the scenes. So, I mainly want to focus today on sharing my experiences with photographing my 3D prints. And I'm going to show you how I go about taking a print of the print bed and making it ready for an Etsy listing. And as you can imagine, it's been quite a learning curve, since trying to take the perfect photos that will make my prints stand out mounting competitions is quite a challenge. But hopefully, as time goes on, I'll be able to achieve that goal. So I'm going to show you how I go about taking photos of the prints you see here and make them ready for an Etsy listing. What I'll do is I'll show you how I utilize a photo box that I have on my left, and also I'll bring you downstairs to show you a setup that I have that hopefully will make the prints stand out even more. So without further ado, let's get going and jump right into today's episode. Okay guys, so the first part of my photo shoot process is taking photos of the prints in the photo box that I have right here with me. I got this photo box, I think on Amazon for around 8 years or so. It's quite alright, honestly I can't complain about it. It's got two large LED strips individually controlled that are held up by magnets inside, and I'm able to actually move the position of the LED strips individually to my liking. I kind of set it up the way that I like it, and I find that it kind of produces alright results. Now, obviously they could be better, and that's something I'm still learning, how to fully utilize this photo box to take the best photos that I can. Now, what I use is a white background for all of my prints, simply because I kind of just want to get it consistent, right? There's also a gray background, or I believe this kind of yellowy or black background that I could use for my prints. But to be honest, I think the white one is the best, and it's just universal, right? Later on down the line, if I want to, I can easily remove that background photo stuff and, have it adopt based on the website theme. If I were to have it later on, right? So I'll be able to have the photos on a black background if it's a dark theme, or a white background if it's a light theme. So it allows me to kind of have this versatility, right? And I don't need to take, 2 or 3 different sets of photos with different backgrounds. I can just take one and then change the background color post-reduction if need be. But anyway, so let's get crack-a-lacking and get the vases that I want to take photos of today ready. So I have this large vase here, right? That's one, that's in 25 centimeter size. I've got another one, same one, different color, different size, 20 centimeters and 15 centimeters, the smallest one. So the photo box is quite bright, I'm not gonna lie. As soon as I open it up, it'll just be a white box, right? Unfortunately, the camera is kind of struggling to capture the light coming out of the photo box compared to the lighting that I have here in the room. So as you can see, just open it up, it's fully flooded with cold white light, right? Which is nice. I'll actually lower the brightness for you so you can kind of see what it looks like inside, and we can kind of take a better, deeper look into how the whole process looks like from the inside. So give me a second to get it set up, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so hopefully the color exposure is right and we'll be able to see inside of the photo box more, right? So let me take this down, zip it up and place it back up so you can kind of see more inside of what the photo box looks like. And as you can see, what I have up here is a nice little white cloth that kind of acts as a diffuser. It's okay. I find that the little mounting kind of hooks that they have are quite inadequate, because I cannot have it stretched fully, right, as I'd like. It kind of drops down, which is a bit annoying, and I might just honestly 3D print kind of a solution to keep them all in place and keep it taut. But anyway, once I have this kind of stuff set up, right, there's also in the back, right, let me just try and show you the LEDs, right, the raw LEDs on a metal panel, right? To have a magnet here, a magnet there, and there's a metal bar in here that I can kind of adjust the location of the strips. But I kind of have them set in the middle or so, just for the equal lighting. But anyway, let me install the diffuser back again. And obviously it's gonna go back into its little droopy position, but that's okay. Right, what matters the most is we kind of have a nice uniform light going in to the print. So let me quickly also clean the background. I've got a nice microfiber cloth and I give it a quick wipe down just to get all of the various little dusts and little residues off the background. I just want to keep it nice, clean and consistent. But anyway, let me take the 20 centimeter print, put it in, and as you can see, hopefully it's nicely lit up. Let me just check. Yes, it is. So as you can see, we've got a nice flooded photo booth with the print right in the middle of what it is. And then what I do is I just grab my phone and I try and take the photo of the print from a few angles. Mainly what I do is I take a photo of the print from the front because I kind of want to have a variety of photos, and the front one kind of will help me if I want to just have a frontal photo later on. What I do is I take it on a double zoom setting and in RAW, right? Because it would allow me later on to go back into the photos that I've taken and do some processing. So let me take that, 1, 2 photos. And then also what I do is I utilize the portrait setting on the iPhone to kind of help make the photo just kind of pop a little bit more. I find that it does add a little bit of a blur to the print, which is all right. Honestly, it kind of creates a good effect. So let me take 1 photo. There we go. And I use natural light, and also I give a second go for studio light. To be honest, I prefer the effect of the studio light because it just creates a better effect for me anyway. So I've taken the photo of the print straight on. Now, if there was a print that wasn't uniform all around, so for example, if this was one of these prints, right? So as you can see, it's not uniform in size, right? It has a nice little kind of division, right, between this pattern and a solid rear. What I would do is I would rotate the print just to kind of get the photo of the print from different angles. So for this one, we're not doing it simply because it's just uniform all around. Then up next, what I do is I try to take the photo at around 45-degree angle, right? 45 or something along those lines. So once again, I have my photos on RAW, double magnification, and I take 1, 2, 3 photos or so, right? And I do the same thing with the portrait mode. So I wait until the text is yellow for natural light, and I just continue on taking 1, 2 photos and move on to studio light. And there we go, 1, 2. And that's what I do for all of my prints that come through the photo box. It's honestly quite a tedious process taking photos of the same print over and over again until it's right. But you know what, it's needed. I kind of want the customer to see the photo at its best and kind of know exactly what you're getting. So that's why I kind of do it this way. So I'm going to do this for all of my other prints, and hopefully I'm going to be able to show you the effects of what this looks like and how I went about it. So I'm going to do a little time lapse of me taking photos of this vase here, the 25 centimeter one and the 15. So without further ado, let me jump straight right into the time lapse. Okay, so we're now downstairs for the second half of my photo taking process. And here what I have is a bunch of fake flowers I got at IKEA to put into the vases to kind of make the photos stand out even more. And I found that to be a fantastic investment. Honestly, I could not be happier with how the photos turn out. And the price to performance ratio is quite spectacular. So let me show you the type of flowers I got so you can get them for your photo studio, and I'll walk you through which flowers I put into which vases. Okay, so first and foremost, what I do is I print my prints in 3 different sizes. I have a 15 centimeter print, I've got a 20 centimeter print, and a 25 centimeter print, right? And the reason I do that is so the customer has a size reference to the vases that they're getting. Now, this hopefully will also make me stand out from the competition, because from what I saw, a lot of them just offer the default size. So by offering 3 different sizes as 3 different price points, I'm able to help the customer make the right choice. So what do I do for my smallest print? And it's quite easy, right? So what I got in IKEA is these 2 bouquets. They're identical plastic bouquets of flowers, right? I think they were €2.50, €3 each. I can't remember the exact price points, but I joined them together, right? And I put them into my small print. And as you can see, they kind of help make the print come to life, right? The customer can actually imagine what the print would look like with actual flowers inside. And that's what I want to make sure that the customer sees on my listings. Cool. So now that we have the 15 centimeter print out of the way, let's look at the 20 centimeter print. And for the 20 centimeter print, right, it's obviously quite larger and quite taller. So I want to make sure that the flowers I get are adequate to the size. And what I got in IKEA is this individual bouquet of flowers, right, quite green, quite luscious, quite nice. And this, which I believe to be an orchid, I'm not a botanist, so I don't know the names of the flowers, but combined together, they make for a really nice, bright bouquet. And I'm honestly really happy with how the orchid in the background makes the whole bouquet pop, right? So when I put it into my 20 centimeter print, right, it looks quite nice. Obviously, we've got the little apex here with the orchid, but overall, it looks quite good. And I'm honestly happy with how the photos turn out while using this bouquet of flowers. Okay, and last but not least, what I have is the 25 centimeter prints. Now, obviously, they're much larger, so they'll require a bigger bouquet or a taller one, right? So, for the 25 centimeter prints, what I have is a bunch of dried flowers, right? They have a kind of nice autumn color combination. We've got some nice cream color here, some wheat, so to speak, some grass definitely, and then some of them cattails, but they're kind of orange cattails. So what I do is I put them into the vase and hope for the best. And to be quite honest, for now, they look quite nice. But I'm not gonna lie, I will want to replace them with more greenery later on, because currently in the photos that I have with the trio of the prints, this one stands out the most, and it kind of contrasts against the backdrop of the green luscious bouquets. But anyway, let's move on to the photo taking process that I have. And for that, what I have is I have a table just below here that I set against the backdrop of the wall and take the photos of the prints that way. And to help with the lighting, what I have, I've got one standing lamp here to my right that I can change kind of the color temperature of, which is quite nice. And also, I've got 2 light bars, right? They're 2 different brands, different sizes. I just wanted to make sure that, I wanted to get the right one. They're both all right, not bad. This one is newer, whatever you want to call it, and this one is Luxia. They're both good, both have kind of pros and cons. This one is much taller, obviously. This one is a bit wider, but overall, I'm happy with how they turned out, and I'm kind of using both of them for now. So, without further ado, let me give you a time lapse of how I take photos of my prints. Okay, so we are now in Canva. What I've done is I've imported all of the photos into a folder. It's just to kind of keep it all together and whatnot. So then when it comes to editing the photos, I have all of them available and in the respective folders. So let's have a look at some of the photos we took. Right, so we've got the 25 centimeter one, which looks all right. They're not too bad. I don't like how this line here shows up. Now that's an imperfection in the print, but to be honest, like if I were to sell a black vase like this, I wouldn't want to send it out with this imperfection. So that one will just stay in my inventory just for photos and whatnot. So I'm gonna try and do a little magic eraser on this just to kind of hopefully clean it up. Right, so let's see how good it is at kind of getting rid of this line imperfection, right? So let's give it a second. Okay, well, it's not bad, but it's not perfect. So let's undo it and let's make this brush size much smaller, right? Because to be honest, all we need is just this small, just this small line erased. So let's do that. And let's see how it comes out. Hopefully it'll come out better. Yeah, it's not bad. Obviously you can kind of still see the imperfection, but let's kind of look over that for now. Unless, no, Magic Edit is not going to work. So let's do an adjust. The adjust makes it a bit better. Now you can obviously see slight imperfections on these prints. That's on me because when I put them in the container, they kind of started hitting against each other and getting some blemishes. So unfortunately, that's how it's going to be for now. But later on, I hope that I'll take off the photos as soon as the print comes off. Right? I just forgot to do this one. That's why it's kind of all done up. But anyway, so we've got a copy of this one. Right? That's not bad. Possibly could use it for a listing, right? It's nice, looks good, nice and tall, cool. Moving on to the blue one. I like the lighting on this one. It's nice. It has a little highlight here. Showcases the color quite nicely. So to be honest, I don't think there's much I'm gonna need to do to it. Just make it a bit brighter with the auto adjust here. And to be honest, looking at it like that right now, the color in the photo is much closer to what it looks like in real life, so I'm happy with the way that the color was adjusted. So let's save it and download it as well, right? So as you can see, to be honest, mostly the whole process is quite simple. There isn't much work that needs doing. I don't like how this is kind of, you know, rotated a bit wrong. Yeah, I think this looks better with the auto rotate. And then let's do auto adjust as well on this one. And I think this one is going to look better than the previous one I took because it's also at that little angle and it shows the hole as well. So that's nice. Up next, let's do the banana one. So do a quick color adjust. Now it's a bit too yellowy in my eye. I think the brightness is grand. Highlights. Nah, highlights were correct as well. I think the vibrance is what's off here because it's quite turned up quite high. Right, so I think if we kind of tone down the vibrance a little bit, that's gonna show off the stuff. And contrast, it's gonna make it vary too much. Now let's check again. Let's do foreground, right? Let's check if it's gonna auto adjust foreground much better than what it did before. So let's compare. It looks brighter. It looks alright, honestly, to be honest. Closer to what the color looks like in real life compared to this, because this one is quite dull and it just doesn't pop as much as this, right? So happy days. Hopefully it'll be eye-catching enough. Let's save it and download it. And then up next we have our collection of the prints here, right? So let's have a look at the family of 3, right? They don't look bad. Now we want to use a 4:3 ratio for the thumbnail, right? So let's kind of zoom in a little bit more and adjust the position of the stuff, right? So zoom a little bit back because I'll still adjust the thumbnail in SC, but for now it doesn't look too bad, right? We've got the nice foreground filled with the photo, with the vases and everything. So let's see what AutoAdjust gonna do if anything. Now it just turns up the contrast a bit more. I guess I can try it and see how it goes with this. So it's not too sharp on this one though, I saw there. So let's actually check and see if the sharpness is better on this one. No, it's not. Now obviously where I'm looking at it is I'm looking at it way too close, but from a back, you know, from a distance, when you're looking at it on the small icon on Etsy, it looks fine. But you know, the more you zoom in, the more you'll see that it's worse. But I think it's more of how this is Canva uploads the files. So let me do a crop 4:3 again, right? Just to kind of have a second photo to possibly use right now. I don't want to just give it to one photo. I kind of want to have a backup of a few photos that I can use and see how it'll go. I saved the changes. Now come on, there we go. So that's that, right? That's these done. Let's see, maybe from a different angle that'll look better. Let's crop it and give it a 4:3. Now they're more in, but you cannot see the kind of flowers in the background, so this one's not my favorite. What about this one? Now it's too much to the left. As you can see, there was too much of an angle here, so I don't like how it looks a bit slanted. So let's not use this one and try a different one. Let us have a look at possibly this. Now these are, yeah, not the best either. From what I can see, they're kind of spread apart too much. I don't like how there's so much space in between the yellow and the black. So you know what, I'll just stick to what I have and let's not overcomplicate things. Now up next, let's have a look at possibly this one, but it's too close. Let's jump into this one and possibly have a look at 4:3. How is that gonna look? Now that doesn't look too bad, right? Let's crop it, adjust it, and then do a little bit of a magic eraser, just because I just see some imperfections in the table here now, right? So boom, 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 boom. Now hopefully that'll make the background just mesh a bit more. Now obviously I want to make sure that the background looks nice and there's no kind of blemishes. So let's have a quick look. Honestly, when I tried doing it on Shapeable previously, it did quite a good job. So let's see if it actually does the same thing as it did beforehand. So give it a quick spin and let's see. Right, nearly there, nearly there. Come on, it's not much. I'm not asking for much. All I'm asking is just for these little spots here. There we go. Boom. See? Before and after, right? So there's quite a bit of a difference, right? Especially those blemishes. It did a really good job of doing the wooden grain. So happy days, save and download. Cool. So that's our yellow one done. Come on, save. There we go. It's the yellow one. Let's do the black one now. This one is too up close for my liking. Let's do this one. 4:3. This is not bad either. Cool. And we're going to do the same thing as we did beforehand. We're just going to grab the magic eraser, quickly adjust the brush size, just do a little spot check just on the walls here, and I think that's all good. Now this line is here, I know, I don't think it'll be that visible, so let's do a quick erase, and hopefully it's going to take much quicker this time. But honestly, the process looks like I look through the photos, work on them, make sure they look good, and then upload them to Etsy. So I'm not really going to bore you with the rest of the process, right? But that's kind of what the process looks like for me for every single kind of listing that I do. I've also been kind of trialing out to do, and I'll show you in a second. Let me just quickly do the auto adjust, and I'll show you in a second what I do to kind of also show off the sizes of the items. Now I've only started doing it today, so let's have a quick look. I think it's not Raco. It'll be in Yobi. Is the listing here or not? Let's do a quick check. If not, it might be in a project because I did it in a project as well. Okay, let me quickly go home. There we go. So what I'm kind of working on is getting the sizes as well of these objects, just kind of like a nice reference. Now I'm still working on the background because I do not know how to make the background nicer or anything like that. It's not perfect, right? But I kind of like the effect that I'm going off. I don't think I'm gonna do the top down, simply because it's not that much information in there, right? On the other hand, you know, it will show off the diameter of the hole, so that's a possibility. I don't know, like I don't want to just have this kind of set up here and then nothing on the right because it looks very, very bare. So I'm still, you know, I'm gonna work on it. Maybe I actually will take more photos from top down, just to kind of can see exactly what it looks like from top to bottom. And then actually I'd be able to put the diameter of the hole. So, you know, I'll leave it at that for now and go back to it later on when I actually do take more photos of them top down. But for now, that's kind of it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, and until next week, see you later. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and take care of yourself and somebody else too. Thank you.